UFC 251 main event Kamaru Usman vs. Gilbert Burns has been cancelled after Burns and his team tested positive for COVID-19. John Morgan from MMA Junkie tweeted this first: potential medical issue has been identified in the Kamaru Usman-Gilbert Burns matchup, and neither fighter is boarding the plane to Abu Dhabi tonight for UFC 251. Current plan per sources is to reschedule the fight for a later date. Jorge Masvidal reacted to the news with the definition of game bred. Game bred is an animal that has been bred to be game. Looks like Jorge is willing to fill in and save the main event, but will the UFC be willing to pay what he's asking? Let me know in the comments down below. MMA Junkie posted an article on Gilbert's positive test. Here's what they wrote. Burns traveled from Florida, where he trained for UFC 251, to Las Vegas. The promotion is using the city as a hub to send athletes overseas to the event location, testing them for COVID-19 before flying out to the Middle East. Burns' test result came back positive alongside his brother and cornerman Gilbert Burns, as well as his coach Greg Jones. It's unknown at this time if the UFC will be able to find a replacement opponent for Usman, who did not board the charter plane either. Our next story comes from Dustin Poirier, who credits the loss to Conor McGregor as the reason for his career turnaround. Speaking to Ariel Hawani, Dustin says the loss to Conor changed his whole view of the sport and made him reevaluate his approach to the fight game.
Being comfortable in your own skin is such a powerful thing. Do you remember when you were able to finally feel that way? Like, was there a turning point in your life and career?
It definitely started happening after the Conor McGregor loss. That was like that was the start of it, you know, and it's been a long process. And then being a father and then losing again and, you know, winning some and losing again and then winning another one. It's just a long evolution of stop caring so much, you know, you just stop caring about the noise and the stuff that doesn't matter.
Why that fight? Why do you think that's the one that started it?
Because a lot of times in my younger career, I felt like it was life or death. You know, every comment on Instagram and Twitter, you know, every journalist who said something, or, you know, I felt like everybody was against me. I felt like if I lost, I would be written off. It's the end of my career. You know, I'm a bum if I lose this fight, and then you lose a few times and you realize, oh shit, I can still put this back together. Oh man, I'm still providing for my family. I'm still loving what I do. It's like you've been bent but not broken a lot of times, and I feel like it made me stronger, and it made me the man I am today. Man, I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy.
Conor McGregor saw what Dustin Poirier said and tweeted one word: respect. Our next story comes from Tony Ferguson, who called out Justin Gaethje for a rematch. Justin Gaethje congratulated Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker on a great fight on Saturday, to which Tony replied with this: save sports so you could be able to compete again. You're acting like your coach told you not to be. Run it back without my 3 previous practice partners helping you. Old Camps Reign TC, Matthew Lopez, Death Clutch MMA, Rose Namajunas, and Pat Barry. By the way, much better tracker than Hunter. Now here's my unofficial translation of what Tony said. Tony is saying he saved live sports by taking the fight with Justin and basically did him a favor, and he tells him to run it back, but this time without the help of his old training partners in Matthew Lopez, Rose Namajunas, and Pat Barry. Justin Gaethje did see Tony's tweet and agrees with the fans' reply. Justin doesn't know what Tony is saying. Our next story comes from Paul Felder, who is interested in coming out of retirement. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Paul Felder says a rematch with Dan Hooker is very, very appealing.
Yeah, that is what would bring me back. You know, a rematch with Dan, and now it would just be let's run it back. Listen, I've never really sat and whined or complained about the decision, but it was close enough where, you know, you could warrant a rematch between us. And things like that excite me. Same as the Edson rematch in my career. When these guys beat you and you get the chance to go in there and take one back, I mean, that's exciting stuff. I think that's possibly a main event in the future. Obviously, he's got to go heal up. I still have a lot on my plate with commentary, and I'm focusing on that. You know, that's something I want to really dive into, because when this is all said and done, that's one of the major things I'm going to be doing. But yeah, that Tony Ferguson, Dustin, you know, chances of Conor are probably 0, right? So I won't even mention that, because that's just not going to happen. And so yeah, those are the fights that I want.
Our next story comes from Colby Covington, who reacts to Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. Speaking to BJ Penn Radio, Colby says Dustin did not look impressive at all in the fight.
You know, I didn't think that performance was that impressive. I mean, let's be honest. It took you 25 minutes to beat a hooker. Usually hookers are in and out within a couple minutes. So the fact that hooker lasted that long is a feat in itself. But, you know, if Hooker would have kept kicking at the second round, you know, Dustin wouldn't have been standing. The fight would have been over. So it wasn't really an impressive fight. I mean, Hooker's a former featherweight. You know, he got finished by Edson Barbosa in like a minute or two. I mean, so he's not really that good of a fighter. So I mean, I thought he got beat. I thought Dustin got beat. You know, it was a very close fight, but I thought he got beat. But you know, just all the shit he's talked about on site. No, I want to move up to 170 and this and that. I mean, Dustin walks around bigger than me. We've stepped on scales. You know, he's about 185. You know, I'm low 180s. So you know, I just don't have to cut weight because I'm not scared to fight at my natural weight because I know I'm the best in the world. So I would love that grudge match with Dustin. He's one of the main reasons that, you know, the relationship with American Top Team went south because he was always complaining to Dan Lambert every day. Oh, Colby, man, you're saying mean things to me, Dan. You need to set some laws down and let him know that he can't speak to me like that. So I'm sick of his crying little attitude and that little bullshit comment of it's on site. Man, it's on site. Let's do this, man. Let's make it on site then.
Our next story comes from Alexander Volkanovski, who talks about his upcoming fight with Max Holloway. Speaking to SportsCenter, Volkanovski says it's his goal to knock out Holloway and silence all the critics.
Straight after the fight, I was like, you know, all respect to Max. You know, he was a great champion. He deserves a rematch. I watched back the tape. It was a pretty convincing, dominant win. I believe I won all 5 rounds, and I did win all 5 rounds. So we started thinking, you know, is the rematch an option? And then, people quickly forget, you know, what I've done. You know, I took out 3 of the greats back to back, beat them at their own games. You know what I mean? It's not an easy task, but people quickly forget that. You know, people think he can take me out. So right now, this is a fight that I want. Even though I started thinking, is the rematch what needs to happen? I told myself, you know what, I want this. I think this is the biggest fight for me. I've got something to prove. You know, I really do have something to prove. I'm a little upset. I feel a little disrespected how things have been, but I'm putting him away. That's what I'm going to do. You know, I've beat him 5 rounds to 0 last fight. I know I can outsmart him. I know I can out-volume, you know, but, you know, a lot of people think he can't be finished. That's my goal now. I'm going to go set a real statement, take out Max Holloway, finish him inside the 5, and let everyone know. No doubts. I won't have Max Holloway, you know, thinking he won the fight or whatever it is. Biased opinions. I'm not going to give anyone the chance to have any of that. I'm just going to take him out in the 5 rounds, and that's it.
Our next story comes from Mike Perry, who called out Nate Diaz. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Mike Perry says the fight with Nate Diaz would go the same way as his fight against Mickey Gall, with him as the winner.
I think he's a skinny, weak little like Mickey Gall. I mean, I respect what he's done in the sport. He plays the guard game and jiu-jitsu, and he thinks he can box with that little weak-ass punches that he's got, little salt and pepper punches. He doesn't stand a chance to hit me hard enough. I'd hit him on the feet, same way Jorge Masvidal did, and I'd play his guard. I'd get half guard, sit on top of him. It'd look exactly the same as the Mickey Gall fight did, to be honest with you. So if you guys like that fight, then yeah, you'll probably like the Nate Diaz fight too, because he's a little more durable. He'll probably try to stand there and box back with me, but my power punches are just, I'll sit him down. Everybody knows he's durable, so I'll bust that eye open again. Same. I mean, what can I say? I mean, look, that's not hate. I'm not hating on Nate Diaz. He's done things in the sport. He's made money. Good for him, dude. I've always thought I'd beat that guy. And, I mean, it's as simple as that. We're talking about one-on-one in the ring fight, and I win.
Our next story comes from Jorge Masvidal, who reacted to Dana White's comments. Dana said in the past that MMA isn't a career, it's an opportunity. Speaking on his Instagram Live in a fan Q&A, Jorge talks about his relationship with Dana and his thoughts on MMA not being a career. Here's the clip.
Everybody's asking you like Dana.
He's my coworker. I don't really, it's not like I'm gonna go hang out with him anywhere anytime soon or anything like that. I don't have no animosity towards him, but I also don't really like him too much either, because he has to do his job, which is generate the most money for his company. I got to do my job, which is generate the most money for me and myself. See where that clashes? We're not gonna always see eye to eye, but I don't think that he's like a devil or this evil fucking person. I just think he's doing his job. I got to do mine. Oh, I want to address something actually because of the Dana White thing. Dana White, I think, said the other day on news and that. Maybe he could explain this. He said this is not a career, it's an opportunity. Been doing this 16 years. Shit, I've had a lot of opportunity, huh? That's crazy. So it's not a career, Dana White. That's interesting to know, man. I really think sometimes we don't see eye to eye on anything you fucking say, bro. How is this not a career, It's crazy.
That about wraps up the video for today. I will make an update video when more news comes out. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Have a great day and peace.